Welcome everyone, or welcome home everyone. I'm sure after this meeting you might have some activities to do. So I'm not too sure whether anyone who do not have an Octopus card in their pocket. I do have a few. If you don't have one, I have my colleague sitting here so that you can pick up one. Just use it. Of course, you have to load money before you can use it. So please. So. Of course, today is talking about big subjects, all these IoT, big data, cloud, and also the mobile payment. I like to focus more on the practical application of it. I'd like to ask you one question. Do you want your cash to be connected? I mean physical cash. That means your physical cash is kind of linked up because of IoT. Do you want to have that? Because nowadays, when more and more things are being connected, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to leave what we call a digital trail for everything we do? So this is a very basic question. And I also want to raise my concern saying that do we still have the basic right of not to be known? So I think when we talk all about IoT, we have to also think about the other side of the coin. Here I talk about Octopus of Things instead of Internet of Things. I'd like to be more specific. That's why I'm using Octopus of Things. We all know cash has its advantages, such as safe from hacking. For physical cash, you don't need to worry about hacking on cash. No special hardware and software needed, accepted anywhere. And I think the key thing is you can remain anonymous. But of course, Octopus has it has its own shortcomings. It is not safe, physically not safe, wasteful, expensive, and unhealthy. So for Octopus, we do have benefits of both. It is fast, reliable, saves a lot of people and economic resources, inexpensive and countless, and choose to be anonymous. I think this is a major beauty of our product. For most of our customers, they chose to be anonymous. That means we only know them as a number. We don't know the name and what is he doing. So I think this is the beauty of it. Octopus is a 100% homegrown company. I would say the world's first contactless offline store value card, which links people with transportation, retail, home, offices, and also nowadays also what we call social welfare. The government also use our product to distribute social welfare to some of the people who are in need. We estimated about 60% of the Hong Kong, what we call the cashless transactions, are being done through Octopus. You can see we have different types of products for different people, child, adult, elder, and student. The reason why we separate them into different products because they might have different, what we call, benefits. So like for myself as an elderly, I can enjoy what we call a concession fee fare in Hong Kong. That means you need only to pay $2 to enjoy a ride in MTR and also in all other public transportations. Octopus is beyond just a card. It's beyond just a card. I think it's fashionable nowadays to talk also about wearables. You can wear your wristband, your watch, your Google Glass, all these kind of things. But I think we have started what we call these wearables for a long time. Octopus is well known for its speed, usually less than 0.5 seconds for a transaction to happen, reliable and accurate. And for a long time, Octopus is beyond just one card. A customer can choose what we call the preferred form factors. I don't know whether you have watched the latest James Bond film. There's a watch, and the one asked him, what does that watch can do? Of course, the answer was it tells time. For the Octopus watch, it also tells time, but it also allows payments. So a lot of what we call the different people when they are using different form factor, I think is for their own convenience. Where we are now, Anna just mentioned we are processing about 30 million transactions per day. On an annual basis, we believe this year we are going to exceed 5 billion transactions per annum. This year, 5 billion transactions. This is not about value. This is about transaction number, which I like to focus more on. And we have issued about 30 million cards. So if you count the Hong Kong population, only 7.7 million, together with some people coming from other places, now we have a total issuance of 30 million. And we are processing 5 billion transactions this year. And we believe we are the world leader in what we call the multimodal smart contactless card model. And it's accepted almost everywhere here in Hong Kong, apart from transportation, all the retails, and also the recreational facility, the car parks, or everything. Nowadays, when people ask, if you have to bring only one thing going outside, what do you bring? Of course, some people will say smartphone, but some people may also prefer Octopus. We also exported our experience overseas. We started, I think, in early 2000. Now we have presence also we have presence in Netherlands, Dubai, New Zealand, and we have just signed up Hungary, Budapest, and US. So now we are also exporting our expertise to other places. Octopus is also providing customers with payment options. It is now also available in mobile. So I asked the question, if you go out and you are allowed to only bring out one thing, I would say now is my mobile phone. This mobile phone, I've also put in my Octopus SIM into it. So now I can use it to pay. I can use the phone to connect to other people and then continue to look at my Facebook and also my WhatsApp. So the good thing about this mobile is always on. That means even though this is in a sleeping mode, you can just tap your mobile phone into the readers and it works. It works exactly like a plastic. But at the same time, it is installed inside the mobile phone. And then, of course, you can enable what we call the transaction inquiry. So this is one thing I can proudly say this is even simpler than the other mobile wallet. Because for other mobile wallets, somehow you might need to use a fingerprint or to pull the mobile application. For this one, our creation is, we call it always on. And then we also move from online, what we call offline to online, because nowadays people are not just satisfied with offline transaction, but they also want online to be offered by the same service provider. So we have worked with Taobao. Taobao now is the biggest online store in the world. So we are working with them. In this case, in the previous case, I'm using it like a card. But in this online case, we are using the mobile phone as a reader. That means when you're going to online to pay, you can tap your card into the NFC mobile phone, and then you can pay. This is perfect for those who don't want to use the credit card in online, or who don't have a credit card for online purchases for security reasons. So I think this is a perfect product to fill the gap. And this, again, to give a customer a different choice. A bit about our history. We started in 1997. I think that started with a very noble idea of what we call creating a common transportation fare platform for all the public transportations. So this is a very good service to all the customers without pulling different types of tickets and also coins. Now they can use Octopus to go around Hong Kong using the same card. And we expand to retail. After a successful launch in transportation, we extend our presence into retail. And then in 2012, we started what we call the Octopus mobile application. That means you can use the mobile application to check your balance of your card, and then you inquire transaction, and then some activation of the Octopus service. In 2013, we incorporate the SIM into with Octopus. So now you can bring your phone while connecting with people, and you can still make payments. And in 2014, we started the online business. Now we are moving from offline to online. I understand people talk a lot about O2O. So from some companies, they move from online to offline. Now we are moving from offline to online. And then in 2015 and beyond, I like to also what we call to provide not just offline, online service, but also P2P service. So to us, this is really what we call a simple objective, to provide customer with different kind of payment needs using offline, online, and also P2P. I'd like to wrap up with our vision and mission and values. We want to make, the mission is making everyday life easier. Our values, make it smart, make it right, and make a difference. And I hope while you are in Hong Kong, please enjoy the service provided by Octopus. So I hope you have a very good trip here in Hong Kong and also a good trip back home. Thank you.